Hello? Marcus? Where's the sound?
All right. Hello, everyone. And it's the 21st of June. I believe it's the solstice. So longest day here in the Northern Hemisphere and shortest night. And here in Helsinki, that's about 18 hours. It is blue skies, so we still have a bit of time. But welcome to this session here of No Labels, No Walls. And we'll be looking at impact and continuity. And we're streaming live. And this can be found on different platforms that are connected to this. Marcus could always give a bit of input as to where that's happening. But for the meantime, I'd just like to welcome you all. And I hope you're all doing well. And if we could maybe just start, I'll just start from my screen. So if I could start with Soilikki. Hello, and how are you? And where are you based? Please unmute yourself.
Okay, hello. Hello. Yes. Okay, now. I don't know why. You don't hear me.
We hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yes, thanks, Julian. I'm a new at Kukunori, and I'm very excited to work at Kukunori, and I'm very excited to talk with you today and learn a lot of you around No Labels, No Walls. I'm now sitting in quite near Turku. If someone knows Turku in Finland, we have approximately 30 degrees plus, and that is something very special from the Finnish side. Yes, and if I continue to Hilppa, how are you today?
Thank you. I'm very well. And hello, everyone. My name is Hilppa, and I'm from Finland. And this is my first Action Monday meeting. So I'm probably more just all ears today. But a little bit about myself. So I have studied applied drama, and so I have used theater techniques or theater-based methods outside the theater stage, and I'm a beginner's levels activist. So, which means that I am hoping to take my experience to more like on the activism level outside the theater and others. And I will continue to Leila. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. You sound very interesting information.
Where are you, Leila?
Oh, sorry. Oh, you silly. Sorry. Julian. I am in England, in southeast of Dover, in southeast Kent of the UK, and it's very wet, and it's been wet all day here. And we were meant to be easing out of lockdown, but we've had cases that are very high, so we have another 4 weeks of not coming out of lockdown. So we'll see on the 19th whether they have dropped.
And would you like to maybe just a quick share of your interest in No Labels, No Walls?
Who, me?
Yeah, and then maybe pass it on to the next
Sorry, I
person.
didn't realise that
That's
you
okay. That's okay.
finished talking to someone else. Oh God, I'm so sorry, Julian. I've been I'm a bit stuck. Keith, can you help me a tick? I'm a bit stuck.
Okay, so Layla's been coming since you got involved through BMix, didn't you? Through BMix and the music.
Yes.
Yeah. Been coming for quite a few weeks now to No Labels, No Walls.
Yes. Now I am actually all hot and red. But never mind.
No worries.
Thank you for helping me. Oh dear, that was horrible.
How are you, Keith? And where are you based?
So I'm here in my attic in Glasgow in Scotland on a very nondescript day here, so a little bit of brightness coming through, but it's been mostly cloudy, overcast, and one of those days where is there any weather out there? But my colleague Alistair, who often comes here as well, is tonight traveling on the overnight ferry from Aberdeen to Shetland. And in Shetland they have something called the Simmer Dim, which is that time of the year where it never gets dark at all. It just gets a bit less bright during the evening. They have a couple of weeks like that, and they call it the Simmer Dim. So he's going on the summer solstice day to Shetland to do some work with people in Shetland. But I'm here in Glasgow, and I'm involved in the We Are One festival that we've done from Scotland, and we did it in conjunction with No Labels, No Walls last year. And this year it's going to be in October. So it's a bit later than the No Labels, No Walls this year, October the 20th to the 23rd. And we particularly get involved in doing something called Stay Up Late Scotland. And we do like DJs, music, event stuff. So that's me. Okay, can I pass it on to Kevin?
Thank you, Keith. My name is Kevin from Connecticut. I am with the organization Musical Intervention in New Haven, Connecticut, and well, everything's been going fine and dandy, as the saying goes. We are starting to let people back in slowly but surely, and hopefully we're gonna start putting out some good content for y'all cool cats to see. So stick around. I will pass it off to Michael.
Yes, hello. I'm answering for me and Michael. Michael Bierman, who has also my name, Mary Pekarinen, on the screen, and I'm Mary Pekarinen. We are from the Strindberg Laboratory. We are based in Los Angeles, and we are a theater company, and we've been with the No Labels, No Walls since the beginning, creating it with Markus and Kukunori. The first festival in Finland, and now we excited the third festival. So let's hear what Markus and Soilikki are going to tell us.
Would you like to pass it on to somebody else?
Jack, maybe Jack.
Jack in Toronto with Inclusion Press, and I'm just running around a little bit like a chicken with my head cut off as we are preparing for the Toronto Summer Institute. And although we've been doing it since '84 face to face, trying to figure out how we retain the spirit in a virtual event is an adventure. So we are looking forward to seeing many of you July 12 to 14, and you can sign up at inclusion.com for the Toronto Summer Institute. Looking forward to seeing you then. And I'll pass to Tim.
Thanks, Jack. Tim Vogt. I live in Bellevue, Kentucky, which is really close to Cincinnati, Ohio. And it's a really great day. I'm always happy when Monday comes around and No Labels, No Walls is right at noon. So really excited to hear about this topic today and appreciate y'all for holding every Monday for us. Noon here. I know it's not noon your all's time, but really happy to be here. How about Naomi? How's your day?
I'm Naomi from UK in the north. My day's okay. And I'm interested in mental health charities. I'm actually I don't know what it's called. Yeah, I'm actually organization from Mental Health UK. We talk about it's all over the country. We talk about our mental health and people give money.
Thank you, Naomi. Would you like to pass it on to another person?
And I make presentations for it. He's on this call. I'll pass it on to someone begin with H.
Sorry, with who?
H.
Who's that?
I think Mark is here. Welcome, Mark. How are you doing?
Yeah, pass it to Mark.
Hello, my name's Mark. I'm student from Scotland. Over here, it's quite sunny here. I joined No Walls when I seen it on Facebook, and it's very good. Nice to be here today.
Would you like to pass it on, Mark?
Pass it over to Marcos.
Thank you, Mark. I'm so glad to see all of you. This is Markus Vähälä from Kukunori, talking to you from my dungeon. As Soilikki mentioned, in Finland we have 30 degrees, which is hot, 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 something that we are not used to. That's why I'm here talking about a hot topic. It's impact and continuity. Some people call it sustainability of shared actions. A little bit history about No Labels, No Walls. It started as an art event invented by the great Michael Bierman and Meri Pakarinen from the Strindberg Laboratory that came to Finland and walked, I think, like over 100 organizations and made something impossible possible, linking Finns together for shared action. And that's an achievement that I celebrate every day, because we are here today continuing this effort together. So together we created the first festival that happened in Helsinki and in all over the world digitally, but it happened during 3 days in 3 different locations, combining hundreds of people and tens of events. And there's a new movie that you're able to see from Kukunori YouTube that tells a little bit about this experimental laboratory that we built to create positive impact, not only for your well-being, but also to culture and art scene, and bringing all sorts of organizations out of their silos and to talk about what they are doing and what would we do together. After that, we continued the action by meeting each other, but eventually we started these digital meetups that led after COVID to a situation where we only had these digital meetups, and we built a huge digital festival that was parallel with our friends We Are One from Scotland, and together we were able to bring out 129 digital events, culture, art, theater, movies, you name it. And it happened that people started to stick around. So during this 6-day event, people just came to see a movie, for example, or talk about poverty. And then they ended up joining the other events following that. So it created this kind of online summer camp where people were meeting, and the facilitators of the festival were linking organizers and people together. And that idea led to the continuation of Action Mondays that are now nearly 70 Action Mondays, one after each other. So that means that the themes that emerged from the festival were reflected during these Action Mondays during 2020 and 21. Out of these themes, we have created a magnificent festival happening the 25th and 26th of August that is linked to a huge network of people and organizations through Citizen Network and the Citizen Fest movement, in which we have continuous festivals started already in May in Sheffield with the Festival of Debate, continuing next month, the 12th to 14th of July in Toronto Summer Institute. So please, everybody register today with the link that you see in the chat. And after that, we will continue the action in the No Labels, No Walls in August, and continue the action still after this in October with We Are One Community. And after that, the movement still continues. So what happens then? Why are we here for? A very good question, something that my dear colleague Soilikki Viljanen, the impact specialist in Kukunori, an umbrella organization of 43 Finnish NGOs working with mental health, disability, art and culture and minorities. We are always thinking that should we perhaps ease down and talk about why are we actually here and what are we doing? So what are the goals and what is the change in the world that we want to see and why? These kind of strategic questions are usually left to the directors, managers, cabinets, but they are something that we all should learn. And that's why I'm very happy to introduce my dear colleague Soilikki, and we can start to talk about these themes and link them to this continuous movement of action, festivals, and citizenship. So Soilikki, what do you think?
Can I intervene a little? Just to point that Riku hasn't had his chance.
Yes.
Maybe Riku could just have a quick hello and then get back to Soilikki's question, the question
Yes.
for Soilikki. Riku, is that okay, Marcus?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, I'm Riku Turpeinen, No Labels, No Walls, musician and also a very nice person, and I'm from Finland. And very, very nice to be here with all of you. Yes.
Thank you, Riku. Marcus, did you want to reshare your question? And then Soilikki can continue.
Okay. Yes, thanks, Markus. And the first question is, do you see my presentation now? You all?
Yes.
Or not? Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'm very interested to continue with you and learn and discuss and do things together. Today we are focusing already at this stage on reflecting together the influences, effects and continuity of the action session of the coming festival, as Markus said. And I think the starting point could be that we should first think and discuss together how can we assess influences, effects or continuity if we have not set targets. So The first thing what I was thinking, as I mentioned, I don't know so much about this network, but I understand that we have, and we, as I include this network, we have a mission. And I was thinking, if the mission is that something to do with changing the world better, so then the second, it follows that I think we want to know whether we are succeeding. So I would like to know a little bit, or discuss together what are the target groups, and what are the challenges and problems what those target groups have. So then what we want to achieve, what is during that action days, actions during the action days, what do we want to achieve, or the change, what do we want to make, and then what concrete actions do we take, so why these actions lead to change, or are we able to answer this question? Do we see what kind of actions, what kind of change we are waiting? So also about the outcomes, what kind of outcomes we are waiting for from these days. And okay, then we need, it's sure you are waiting, and we are waiting more information and understanding, but is that enough? If we would like to wait some changes in the lives or actions of our target groups, so I think that it could be quite interesting if we want to assess effects and continuity, that we need to be able to assess the some expected results. So I made you a lot of questions only to start the discussion with each other. What kind of ideas now we have? What kind of actions? I know that we have some plans of the actions, but are those, or are there coming more? And what kind? I don't know anything about the resources. So is that important to talk about the resources during to making those actions during the days? And then co-creation. How is it important to also co-create with each other? And what then if there will be any unforeseen or unwanted effects? How should we be aware if those will happen? So let's talk and share our opinions, please.
Thank you, Soilikki. A lot of questions, but what are the answers? And your role during this festival is to make us think these things. A lot of us have been involved in actions that have a project kind of idea, that there's an idea, perhaps a solution, then we do the project, and then it ends, and we feel that nothing changes. So more and more larger and larger networks are joining forces in this idea of creating systemic change. And this systemic change means that it's not only about one project, it's about creating a change that is hopefully positive, but it also continues after an individual project has ended. In systemic language, we call them silver bullets. Every organization thinks that our solution is the world's best. Let's just copy this 1,000 times and the world will change. But researchers change, and the world is more complex than that, and there's some effects that we cannot foresee, but we can estimate and make good assumption that probably this will happen by joining forces with science and models, but also by experimenting. And No Labels, No Walls is a huge experiment also, so we can try new things out. So this year's festival allows us to test something without the need of thinking that do we do mistakes or perhaps we don't succeed. The idea is to learn also to monitor these kind of things that happen during the festival, during these actions that we create. So any comments or ideas about this? Would you like to start, Michael?
So one of the things that we're going to start like next week, we're doing a justice and shared art, No Labels, No Walls Action Monday. That's going to be one of the events that we're going to be doing, which is going to have a shared action. The idea, the premise behind that will be basically a theme of hope. And then what everybody that's participating in the shared event for the festival create artwork, music, words, however they want to express themselves. And then from that material, we'll create a one collective digital art from it. And that can be shared around the world that everybody's included. So that's one example of what we're trying to do this year with basically having a shared action. Other ones, the Jack brought up is the growing the sense of we, I believe was something like that was the title, but a sense that we're all in this together. More people are in this together. So, and Jack can talk more about that, but the idea behind this festival is that we create shared actions where people are obviously leading, but it's more about people participating, creating together. And then from that creations, then more creations will continue to happen and more connections are made. And I just wanted to see if anybody had any more ideas of some collective actions that we can do, because leading up to the festival, we're going to be doing Action Mondays, developing these shared actions that will take place in the festival. So does anybody here, like Tim, I know you have a festival in Cincinnati. Jack's going to be having No Labels, No Walls part of his festival, also having the event in the festival. Is there any shared actions and themes that you're interested in having your participants be a part of?
Michael, do you mean preparing for the festival, or do you mean a shared activity?
Yeah, like for a shared action event. So like the justice and art, perhaps justice is a theme that's running in your festival. Maybe participants that you're involved with could be a part of the creation of that event. Stuff like that. Or is there another theme that you're more interested in? One of the other ones I think Marcus can talk more about is UBI. So maybe more interested in universal basic income. I'm not quite sure, but that's what I was referring to.
I have an idea.
Yes, Riku.
Well, why don't we do some kind of area for people to talk on No Labels, No Walls website, like a chat or something like that. and that way we could do the preparement in live there.
Yeah, absolutely. We have that. Marcus has Citizen Think Tank on Slack, and maybe Marcus can put that in there. But one second, Rico, I'll get back to that. Tim, I just want to make sure I don't lose that. Is there any events or themes or anything that perhaps you want to participate in or be a part of for the festival?
I mean, I'm really interested in people discovering people.
Okay.
So there's two aspects of that. One is I'm interested in people actually reaching out to somebody and just saying, hey, you know, can I tell you about this thing I'm part of? You know, this festival, collective festival kind of group of people. And then I'm also interested in how people grow from those experiences. So I was just kind of thinking of it from Soilikki's question, how do you get the word out, or how do you get people to know about it? One is talk to somebody about it. And then I'm really interested in how people grow from what they discover about other people. Does that make any sense? Those are things I'm really interested in.
That's actually what Jack, if that's his event. Jack, do you want to go into that? Because perhaps that's a way of collaboration between the festival in Cincinnati as well, and then having maybe join forces on that event, which Jack's event, by the way, the Action Monday will be July 5th. So please, Tim, if you can, invite people. So Jack, why don't you talk more about your event for that, the collective we?
Okay. Well, our Summer Institute is July 12 to 14. And I think you summed up a lot of our intent, Tim, which is we are trying to provide open space opportunities for people to meet each other, discover similarities, shared interests, new ideas, and to build on it. And so the underlying theme we've been working on for the last few years is building a bigger we. Because as has already been said, many of us have been trapped in silos for way too long. And the minute we step outside the silo, we discover that there are incredible possibilities and talents on the block and around the world, whether the world, at every level. So we're interested in building a bigger we. I have two additional thoughts that I don't know exactly how they fit into this event, but I suspect it's an opportunity. UBI, Universal Basic Income, in part has been explored more in this last year around the world than perhaps ever before. And it's within weeks or months will pretty much be abandoned by most governments. And I think it's critical that we share the experiences and find a way to do that so that it doesn't get lost, because I think there has been an evolving momentum there that is not yet realized. And it's a big opportunity that needs organizing. So UBI is one. And the same short talk about long-term care. We have witnessed globally that institutional long-term care has been deadly for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. And that is substantially due to inadequate funding, policies that are decades out of date. But more important, we need a cultural shift that welcomes people back into the community rather than abandoning them into institutional Neverland. And so, again, there's a staggering amount of momentum and concern about this issue, but I think unless we gather the information and build networks that are more effective, we will lose a lot of that experience. And I'll add a third, reconciliation between Black Lives Matter and those various crises, between the realities in Canada and around the world of truth and reconciliation, and the profound disregard for the most fundamental rights of people. There are experiences all over the globe. And if we link together on these kinds of issues, I think we have a better chance of making an impact, because these are not small, there are no silver bullets available for these issues, but they are issues about our very survival. So, over and out.
So that'll be some of the themes we'll be talking about as we go into July 5th, that we can start developing what that shared action will look like in the festival. And I just want to bring it over real quick to We Are One, Keith. So Keith, it would be great if We Are One has an Action Monday based on a shared event action for your festival, kind of like how we're doing with Jack. The reason is then your festival, there might be a nice momentum leading into your festival. Is there any specific theme event that you want to have, or one that from the events that Marcus has outlined you want to join in that way? And then also, when would be your Action Monday? What would be a good Action Monday to have the We Are One community over, talking about their festival as well as their shared action for the festival, our festival?
Okay, so I'm sure that all those things are possible. We should think about when it would be the best time to do that. Really, when would we think would be the best time to do it? Because obviously, as we say, We Are One this year is going to be a bit later on in the year. So we are still developing the different themes, reflecting on the festivals we've had before, and yeah, and just trying to develop what it might look like this year. So we're still in that process of doing that. I mean, I think all the themes that we've talked about are very relevant. All the things we've talked about so far are really, really relevant to We Are One. And to this Citizen Fest that we're doing from Scotland. So I mean, the bits I was thinking about were just really about how we can engage some more of the people who are beginning to re-engage in thinking about We Are One this year back into No Labels, No Walls, and the activity that's happening through the festival.
One of the themes we're doing is music beyond all borders. Yeah. Which, you know, has obviously, you guys do stay up late. So I don't know if Marcus, if that would maybe good. Yes.
Michael, you know more than people, so let me introduce the themes.
Okay.
So we have already had a call to action for a short while, but we have already registered themes in our festival. So if Keith, We Are One could think about these themes, perhaps there's some action coming your way. So Culture House is the network of organizations and places in Finland and Sweden using the guided functional peer support model that we had on Action Mondays a couple of weeks ago. So we are joining forces with anything to do with art and culture and support. So probably in your network there might be people that would like to join the action. Walking football was invented actually in Scotland. So hopefully we get some Scottish action into the walking football, because that's an inclusive sport that we are now inviting people from Malta and Germany to join this action. And from California and all over the world, we have Justice, Art and Culture on Wednesday. So talking about how justice system and art and culture are functioning. We have a lot of organizations and people and groups around this theme. And we have Building a Bigger We from Toronto Summer Institute already in the program. Mm-hmm. On Thursday, there's a live concert coming from Helsinki. It's a lot of hip hop music, because we have had a huge mental beauty record project. That's a humane record company producing tens of artists from Finland. And they are all joining forces to this live concert streamed from Helsinki. And I know that in Scotland last year, we had a lot of talent coming from your end, and also you have a great Stay Up Late movement that could also join forces here. And UBI Labs is Universal Basic Income. It has been a theme over the winter in Action Mondays. So we are actually building a Universal Basic Income laboratory to Finland, linking that to the great UBI Labs network. But there's place for your actions inside all of these themes during Wednesday and Thursday too. So here was a little bit of the themes that we are now having, but the call is still open, and I will put the link there. I would like all of you to register to the festival anyhow, to keep you updated with the latest news about the festival, but also allows you to join the Citizen Think Tank Slack that we are using for communication before, during, and after the event. I know Soilikki has a great theme for us that is somehow linked to the talk that we are having now. Isn't it so, Soilikki?
Okay,
yeah.
now I'm here again. Okay, let's continue. Continue to the chain of impact. I shortly tell about the chain of impact, and when we talk about impact, it is good to be aware of that, that it takes time to prove impact. It requires long-term work and attitude. It can take anything from 6 months or 2 years or something like that to notice the impact. So what is then, why is it important to also think about impact like a chain? It helps see the causal links between problem solution and outcomes more clearly. So here is one model which has been developed here in Finland. So I shortly tell you what about is included in these 7 steps. So first, it should be very important to think about societal needs. When you detect the problem you are tackling, what societal challenges do we want to tackle, and who are the people who are we affected by the challenge, and things like that. And then it's important to continue with vision. So it's time to set your long-term impact vision. What do we want to achieve? And goals. So it is needed to define objectives or the concrete changes what will lead to the achievement of the vision. What is the big change you want to make? What about then the resources? Always you have to think also the resources. What are the necessary resources and which are needed in this journey towards our goals? And what kind of actions, what activities there are needed? And also you have to think the outcomes, as we were talking a little bit before. And you have to be able to give the measurable outcomes. Those we will talk about later. It's very difficult, the most difficult place almost are those measurable outcomes. Because we have to be able to tell then, did we achieve our goals? And what has changed in the lives and actions of the target group? And then after that, the seventh point is the impact. What are the created social and economic benefits to society? For example, how will society benefit from this problem being solved? So fall in love with your problem, not your solutions, like Markus before said something around this. So that's a short way to tell what is the chain of impact, something like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Soilikki, so much. So Soilikki is supporting during the festival this approach and helping us to think about these things inside our actions. And after the festival, we will also report a little bit about the actions that we created, so we can learn from them and apply them, for example, during the We Are One festival and the coming Action Mondays. So this is a skill, and we think that everybody should learn these kind of skills. And these are skills for the modern life, it's skills for networked action, and it's also good conversation starter, for example, using these kind of models like Soilikki presented. So would there be any comments about this? Please.
Well, while I've been listening, picking up a few things. What came to mind is the word alignment, and how are individuals and groups able to align? What are we trying to align towards in the long run is one thing. For me, with my experience of what I've been focusing on is the sense of a theme, which is feeling safe at home, but the body is the home. How many of us feel safe within our bodies? And if we don't feel comfortable to move in our house, there could be a few rooms that we don't know how to handle. We don't have full access to the house. And maybe the part of the house is significant for us to be as people, to experience. And if we don't experience it, then we're denied access to that experience and awareness. And maybe there is usefulness with that house. So that thing of saying, how do we embody, how are we one with ourselves through that what process do we go through? So that as we start to feel more integrated as individuals, which then connects, I think, to reconciliation and is a way of like accepting what's happened to ourselves individually in our lives present and intergenerationally, connecting to trauma as well, which is becoming a much bigger topic these days and being more accepted in terms of having less stigma to speak about. There was this Wisdom of the Trauma movie which came out with Gabor Mate, and interesting conversations taking place. So the guy who, his name is Rima, I have it here, give me a moment. Resma Menachem is a very interesting person who is talking, who spoke with Gabor Mate about structural challenges. So the question is, how do we as individuals all reconcile our connections with ourselves first? And within that process, then we have, I feel, the possibility to take that awareness and responsibility to bring that out to the thing of how are we feeling safe at home in order to express ourselves as well as grow.
Excuse me, Julia.
So that, okay, sorry, can I just finish? So then with Marcus and saying building a bigger we, I feel like perhaps the word growing a bigger we is more, at least in my opinion, an organic experience. And it comes from that we are organismic, and from that, the point of departure, then we can be aware that our body, our posture, how the organism in itself individually then is just a representation of the collective. So as we start to feel more in tune and aligned with ourselves, that collective alignment starts to take place, and we have less to think about what we're actually trying to do, and it's more an embodiment and somatic experience that just feels much more recognizable within all of us, and therefore we can appreciate the diversity and not be in this fearful state that tends to create separation. So yeah, that's what came to mind. Thanks.
Thank you, Julian. And please register with your ideas, even though they are not ready, because our thing is that we mix all of these things together. So Julian, you can join all of the 8 actions or create your own or something in between. And remember that there's life after the festival too. So if your action doesn't fit into these actions, that there's a continuation after that. So our time is running. So Michael, anything that you would like to say about what is happening next week?
Yeah, 2 things. One is everybody, if you look at the POCA form on Kukunori that Marcus put in the chat. So I know there wasn't enough time to get to everybody, but you fill out the form and then it lists the themes and the events. And then we can kind of go from there and talk more individually too. So please fill out that form so you guys you all can get involved in the actual festival event. So for next week, we're starting with our first. So next week's launching our transition into all the No Labels, No Walls Action Mondays being about your events. So the first one we're doing is justice and art. So that's going to be what I was saying about making art on hope for justice. And justice can range from criminal justice, environmental justice, immigrant rights justice, disability rights justice, you name it. So it's not just about, it can be about anything that you feel passionate about. So that is it. Layla, do you had something? Or
No, 5th of July is the day after my birthday. No, and I will be 44. And it's in America.
When's your birthday, Layla?
My birthday is when you have the fireworks. When you have the fireworks in
July,
America.
July 5th, we're going to sing happy birthday.
That's right.
It's American Independence Day.
And it's Layla's birthday. I love it. Sounds great. Well, we're gonna remember that and sing you happy birthday on July 5th.
And I've never been to America for
We're gonna bring America to you. We'll sing
fireworks.
single Banyan and happy birthday all at once. Combine it. We'll combine it. Sounds great. So that's it for me, Marcus.
Thank you, Michael. And the slides that Soilikki presented will haunt us after this Action Monday. So we will put them online into our groups, into our pages, so we can all think about these things, and we will bring these themes to our festival. Thank you so much, Julian, for hosting this Action Monday. And as you know, you can choose now the next week's host. So please, Julian, who will it be?
Oh, well.
Thank you. I haven't been keeping track of who's participating regularly or who was the last person, but my mind points to Jack. Is Jack willing to be, or does he not have? Can you be a host, Jack, or is that asking much?
You're mute.
Yep, double checking my calendar. I think I'm fine. Okay, done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
so William.
And thank you, Soile, for a great presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we are so glad to have Soilikki in our festival team. So Soilikki will be there during the festival too, together with me and my colleague Markus Raivio from Kukunori. And the whole Kukunori team will be celebrating from Monday to Friday with you. And we will join forces with the festival events that are happening in Helsinki, which is also great. So No Labels, No Walls is linking local with global digitally.
It's 6 o'clock.
All right. Is there any last things to be said?
No. Julian, it's 6 o'clock here in the UK.
All right. It's time to close then. So
Yeah.
thank you, everybody. Open up your mics.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Your
Thank
own
you.
country, your own language.
Thank you, everybody.